let's have a look at Canvas. So if you've used ChatGPT or Claude, they launched this feature first, and they did a pretty good job of these, but Google's now brought it to Canvas as well. The thing that's obviously nice about Gemini is even though GPT and Claude might do some individual tasks better, and some of our team will use them in specialized cases, if you've got 10 staff or 20 staff or 100 staff, you're probably not going to license Claude or GPT for everyone in the company when you've got Gemini for free. So, well, not for free, they put the price up on everyone, but everyone's got access to it. So as much as possible, our philosophy is to use the Google tools wherever possible so you don't double up and you don't have things like information leaking out as well. One of my team is using GPT for creating content, which is wonderful. We're creating great content out of it, but they also use it as a personal diary, and they also use it for who knows what else. I don't know, probably cooking dinner, right? And so if I want to extract all of our valuable information that is now stored in memory, and I'm not particularly precious about our business information going into these tools, it's really difficult to extract that. You can run a query and say, hey, give me a dump of your memory on everything to do with itGenius. And that's one way of doing it. But if that employee leaves, I can't say, hey, give me your account and reset the password and break into the account, because it's got all their personal stuff in there, which is not really appropriate for us to have in the business. So if you do want to use different apps outside of Gemini for your team, be really careful that they've got one app for their business account that they're using for work stuff, and then one app for their personal login, which they'd use for their diary and cooking and whatever else. And that means that when that person does move on from the business, what we would normally do with any account, whether it's a LastPass account, whether it's an email account, anything, someone leaves the business, we want to retain that data because there's valuable IP in there. And so we want to hold on to it. Okay, let's get to Canvas. So what should I build? Let's just work on a document live. How about, help me generate a Gemini cheat sheet for my staff that I can print and stick in the office. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, now immediately you can see this has popped up a new kind of window on the right-hand side. That's what Canvas is. Basically, it lets you build, edit, work on something on the right-hand side. I'm hesitant to call it a document because it's not really just a document, but it lets you work on this while you've got your prompt on the left-hand side here. So this has done a pretty good job already. Probably not much I'd change about it, but how about we say change some of the font to different fonts and make it a bit more interesting with some tables. So basically I can just keep talking to it effectively, and it's going to be updating this live on the right-hand side. All right, so it's created the table, and I don't know if it changed any of the fonts on me. It might not support different fonts here. It does have just different headings and styles. Okay, cool. So it doesn't do different fonts and stuff. All right, but I can change any of this live if I want. And just like a document, any changes here are being saved automatically. It kind of lives inside this chat, so it's not a document yet until I turn it into a document. So I have to click the share button here and then export to docs, and it will export it from there. But you can do all the basics of editing here, right? So you've got some formatting and styling kind of stuff. And then, I guess if you want to change the font to Windings, then you'd move that over into Google Docs, and then you'd change your stuff there. So I've shown you the example of a document. This could be a table. It could be data that's like effectively a spreadsheet, like a CSV. It could be code. But you may have noticed in the create menu here, there's some really groovy stuff that we can do with it, right? So I'll come back to web page, but I'm curious to see. I haven't tried the infographic one yet. I'm going to hit infographic and see how this goes, turning this into an infographic. And while I was thinking about that, to be honest, having this canvas here is not that different to just working on a document, opening the Gemini window on the right-hand side and saying, put a better title at the top of this document. It's just slightly better than doing it inside Google Docs. So I can hit that insert button. There we go. And, it didn't put it in a title font or anything like that. It didn't change the text, right? So in my document here, which is a standard Google Doc, I've always got Gemini on the right-hand side. I can ask it questions, but generally I've got to cut and paste that stuff in. When we work with Canvas, it's going to be live updating whatever we're working on in the panel next to us. And it's going to be doing a much better job of that. Here we go. So this is our infographic that it's created, which may even be, I don't know if it's interactive or not, at least has some animation. Damn, this is insanely good. Wow. Okay, cool. That is very impressive. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, there you go. So what it's done is it's actually coded up a web page. That's what it's done. So it's got the code here in the background, and then it's given the front end here. as the cheat sheet. I assume then I could just print this. I don't know if there's actually a print button here. I can copy the contents. I don't know how well that's going to go, but let's try. No. Okay. Well, I don't know how you get your infographic printed, but it looks fantastic. Anyway, but that's infographic. The other cool one I wanted to show you was creating a website. Open the canvas again and help me create an interactive website. This one is very, very, very interesting. So Scott had a presentation to make to our team, and he had a whole bunch of thoughts in a big, long strategy document. And Scott's our CEO, by the way. And that's like a 30, 40 page strategy document. And he wanted to make a presentation out of that. Now, if you go to Gemini and you say, hey, turn this into like a Google Slides presentation, it won't do an amazing job of that. It'll do individual slides, but I haven't seen it yet nail like a whole presentation. But what he did, and I don't know why we have a to-do list app here. Okay, I might have to start this one from scratch. Create a cheat sheet for the office that I can print out and give to my team on using Gemini. All right, so I'm going to drop this into Canvas, have it open up another canvas, and then let's use the interactive website button. Okay. Web page, sorry. So again, it's effectively coding in the background here, and then it's going to give us a pretty little front end. All right, so it's thinking about it. And as far as like web development goes, this is pretty basic stuff that it's doing. So it should be able to nail it each time. Just got to wait for it to spit out all of its code. All right, cool. So it's built a mini website here, and this is what Scott actually presented with. I don't know how he got it full screen, but he was able to do it somehow. But it's taken my guide, in this case, a Gemini guide for staff. And you can see here, this is now interactive. I can click through and things are going to change. I can even copy prompts. That's pretty cool. And drop downs, interactive charts. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. There's a prompt builder. It's built. That's pretty wild that it's done all of this. Cool, there we go. So now there are other tools that I can deploy this somewhere. They're a bit outside the scope of this, but there's other tools where I can like click a button and deploy this. So it's just available on the web or available just to your team, and they would be able to access that. We might cover things like that in another upcoming session. If you're interested in that, let me know, and we will. Going to get a bit technical, but some people will be interested. But that's basically as far as you can go with Canvas. You can start to build out these kind of like, preview apps. And if you wanted to publish it, what you would do is you would go and grab the code here, cut and paste it, and publish it somewhere. And then you would effectively have it hosted. So that's Canvas. You might use it for documents. You might use it for building these little app type things. Eventually, and Google has all these other tools for publishing and hosting them somewhere. Eventually, I'm sure we'll have a button here, which will be like host it. And you'll click the host it button. It'll push it to your Google Cloud Platform account. And then you'll be able to just grab the URL and share it with your team.
If you liked this video, we've got plenty more on the channel covering this topic and much, much more.